Updated look at the AFC South and NFC North standings. Tennessee playing meaningful football in late November for the first time in a long time. 5-6 as they continue to chase both Houston and Indianapolis. There's Jay Cutler out indefinitely with that right shoulder injury. See his numbers on the season. Missed the 5 games earlier in the year with the thumb injury. So it has been a trying 2016 for him and this franchise, to say the least, as Matt Barkley and Chicago will have the football to start. Tennessee won the toss and elect to defer. So Lions suck up on to boot it away. Tennessee, a loser in Indianapolis last week, and the Bears blowing that 16-6 lead at MetLife against the New York Giants in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So here comes Matt Barkley, first career start, only his 6th appearance in his first 4 seasons in the NFL. Former 4th-round pick of Philadelphia back in 2013. Spent his first couple of years in Philly. And he will be working behind a patchwork offensive line. Eric Kush makes his 3rd start of the season. Their Pro Bowl guard Josh Shitton is out. And Jordan Howard, who has been a revelation, got his first chance earlier in the season after Jeremy Langford hurt his ankle. And he has not looked back since. Howard second among all NFL rookies in rushing yards, behind only Ezekiel Elliott. Here comes Barkley. He's going to take a shot on first down. That pass off the hands of Marquise Wilson, and flags fly as Barkley going right at that Tennessee secondary.
How about this? No training wheels for Matt Barkley. Come out and just turn them loose, allowing them to go deep against this Titan secondary.
Pass interference, defense, number 30. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
It's Jason McCourty. And this secondary has been an area of concern for Mike Mularkey.
Yeah, they struggle, particularly at the cornerback position, and McCourty can play better. He's got to get his hands off the intended receiver and go for the football. The flag will not be thrown if he's playing the ball. He was more playing the man, had his hands all over the receiver, not playing the ball in the air.
Turns out to be a 33-yard penalty. Pitch play to Howard, the rookie runner, 5th-round pick out of Indiana. It's a nifty run of 8 as he gets downhill. Here is this Dick LeBeau coached Tennessee defense. Jarrell Casey, first-time Pro Bowler a year ago. He's been a horse for them up front. Second-team All-Pro as well. Derek Morgan has been on a tear. 1.5 sacks in the loss last week. He has 8 sacks in his last 7 games, among the league leaders. And Parrish Cox has really struggled of late. Mike Mularkey telling us that we will be seeing a lot of their rookie corner, Rashawn Sims, their 5th-round pick out of Southern Utah. And Chicago keeps it on the ground with Howard, and we saw glimpses of this kid in the preseason. Kind of bided his time the first quarter of the year, and ever since that Langford injury, Howard has been a star for the Bears.
Even though he's a 5th-round pick, Spiro, you knew you were going to end up having to play him every time this kid gets the ball. And remember, he started at UAB, then finished at Indiana, came in as a 5th-round pick, as we told you. But look, 4 games, over 100 yards rushing. Every time he makes contact, he continues to fall forward.
Howard breaks that initial tackle on 3rd and 1. Chicago needed the 32. And it appears to be short. It'll be 4th down. It was Al Woods who made the initial contact around the ankles.
He's going to go ahead, and you can see they're going to get penetration early. Look at that. There's Woods knifing in. But they're going to go for it on 4th down. John Fox wants to get on top of this Titans team early. That's going to go a long way to helping Barkley if they can run the ball and convert on 4th and 1.
It's a 2-and-18. They say, why not? Let's go for it. They'll roll the dice on 4th and 1. Play action from Barkley. Shuffles out of the pocket, has the throw across his body, and that pass is incomplete. Intended for the tight end, Logan Paulson. Pressure coming from Jarrell Casey, and Chicago turns it over on downs. Unable to convert on a 4th and 1, and a tough throw from Barkley. We know how successful Chicago has been running the football with their rookie Jordan Howard, but so I'm going to let to throw it on 4th and 1.
I would have liked to see him run the football. I know they're trying to show some confidence in Barkley. They let him throw it on the first play of the game, and then on 4th and 1.
Flags fly on a first down play, first offensive play for Tennessee. Good catch and run by DeMarco Murray. First down if it stands. As Mariota and company may have had a free play, it's a pickup of a dozen. The referee today is Ed Hockley. Looks like Murray trying to shake the cobwebs after taking that hit along the sideline.
Illegal formation offense. Number 71, who reported eligible, was initially covered. That became a foul at that point. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's Dennis Kelly, who's had to play extensively the last couple of weeks. Penalized. So here's Marcus Mariota. You see his numbers in the loss in Indy last week. As good as any quarterback statistically in the league since week 5. An incredible touchdown to interception ratio. Most touchdown passes in that stretch in the NFL. As he plays the best football of his 2-year NFL career. So the 12-yard catch and run by Murray taken off the board. 1st and 15 as they mark it just inside the 28. Mariota from the gun. Good pass protection in front of him. Underneath again to Murray. And Murray brought down right after the catch after a pickup of 5. Tracy Porter on the tackle. This has been one of the top offensive lines in the league, and they are very happy to have Taylor Lewan, who went down with that left knee sprain last week. Appeared to be serious, but he's going to man up and play as tough as they come. Rashard Matthews, career day last week in the loss in Indy. 122 yards receiving. And so there were initial fears that that left knee injury to Lewan was very serious.
Oh, he's a tough guy to be able to shake that off and come back and start this week. He knows he's needed in the lineup.
Former 11th overall pick out of Michigan back in 2014. This is the rookie running back Derrick Henry, the 2nd-round pick, former Heisman Trophy winner under Nick Saban. It's a pickup of 3. Well, despite the 2-8 record, the Chicago defense has been very good. 9th in the league in total yards allowed. Eddie Goldman back after missing last week's game with an ankle injury. Nick Kwiatkowski makes the start. Their leading tackler, Jarrell Freeman, suspended due to PEDs on Monday. 4-game suspension. And Deion Bush, their 4th-round rookie out of Miami, makes a 2nd straight start at safety. 3rd and 7, just outside their own 35. Mariota again has all day to throw. Over the middle, it's caught by Murray. They needed the 43. Don't get it. And Malarkey sends out his punt unit.
Now, we told you this was a really good defense. John Fox, his team, they play hard. Despite this record, players like Danny Trevathan and this young defense playing very good. That was a really good 3rd down stop. Couldn't get pressure on Mariota, but good coverage on the back end.
Solomon, that's one area where John Fox feels as though they have made strides in the 2 years since it took over here. Inherited a defense that was dead last in the league in total defense and by a wide margin. There's a fair catch is signaled by Eddie Royal, a 43-yard punt. And Chicago will have it once again next.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. K Jewelers. For 100 years, every kiss begins with K. And by Honda. Hurry in for great deals during Happy Honda Days.
Oh, John Fox through the years, a great 9-year run, of course, in Carolina with the Panthers, taking them to a Super Bowl appearance. 4 years in Denver. Knew that this was a rebuild situation, Solomon, and so far it's been as advertised. 8-18 so far here in Chicago.
Everywhere he's been, his players play hard for him, and he'll get it turned around.
So here's Matt Barkley again, if you've just joined us, making his first career start. It has been 4 years in the making after signing with Chicago to their practice squad on September the 4th. Now, we love John Fox, and we're going to look at some of his younger days. Got us to thinking of Spicoli. I mean, this is all kinds of spectacular. Spicoli.
That's a spitting image.
I'm not sure how John will feel about that picture. That was a long time ago, his days as a youth growing up in San Diego. It's as respected a football man as there is in the league. And trying to get things right as they make the quarterback change this week with Jay Cutler. Barkley, football is loose. Barkley has to fall on it as they avert disaster. So third down coming up. And Simon, you've known John Fox a long time, as respected a player as there is, a coach as there is in the NFL, as he tries to figure things out.
Oh, yeah, if you take a look at this play, it didn't quite work out. But, you know, I played in a Sid Gilman football camp when I was some 15 years old, growing up in Southern California. And Sid Gilman, he's the father of the modern day passing game. And you show up, and I'm a defensive back. Guess who's coaching me there? A young John Fox. He recruited me to come play for him in college. He was a great man and has always been a great coach.
On 3rd and 14, underneath, this is Howard, plenty of real estate. First down, 1 and more as he crosses the 30 out to the 35-yard line, as Howard showing his dynamic running ability, a pickup of 24 and a first down.
Well, he can run it and he can catch it coming out of the backfield. What did he tell us, Spiro? His job is to make sure the first guy doesn't tackle. And you can see right there, the first guy gets him, but not till he's some 20 yards downfield. And I think the offense has to go through Jordan Howard. He's capable of doing that for the offense and takes a lot off the shoulders of the quarterback, Matt Barkley.
On 1st and 10, Barkley goes play action, fires up the seam. That pass is deflected off the hands of Derek Morgan. Now penalty marker flies right around where Morgan tipped the football.
Well, because the ball was tipped, you can actually hit the receiver before the ball arrives. So they're going to have a conversation about it. Did they feel it was a hit on the defenseless player? Did he go to the head or neck area? That's a different thing. But in terms of pass interference, once the ball is tipped, see right here by the linebacker, right there, nearly intercepted. That's
Morgan. There was no foul on the play. It was not an illegal hit on the receiver. 2nd down.
That's exactly what Ed Hockley determines with his crew. And so the penalty flag is picked up by the officials.
It's a good no call. Well, I think it's good that they can talk about it and come to the right decision, right determination.
There's Mike Mularkey, spent a quiet Thanksgiving with his wife, and Terry Rubisky and his wife Cynthia did most of the cooking in Nashville. Brief time away from his club. 2nd and 10. This is Howard finding the edge again. Boy, how impressive has this kid been since right around week 4 when he stepped in for the injured Jeremy Langford. It's a burst of 22 yards as they move the chains again.
This kid gives them a chance to have a special offense because he's a special runner. Good vision, good instinct. He just instinctively was able to bounce that ball outside where it was determined that initially to run it inside. But there's the stiff arm, and you see he doesn't concede easily even on the sideline.
Howard grew up in the suburbs just outside Birmingham, Alabama. What a future he's got in front of him. This is Kadeem Carey as they give Howard a breather. You know, we asked John Fox about Howard. What kind of kid is he? He said he's very humble. He's very well liked by his teammates. And the one thing he mentioned, you just mentioned it, his vision, something that really has stood out for Fox as he's watched this kid.
Well, he also said that, you know, he isn't awestruck by the success that he's having, because he knows he's got some special abilities. Even when we talked to Mike Mularkey about Jordan Howard, he says, you know, he's the kind of running back we look for. we would like to have guys with that kind of talent. Of course, they have one in DeMarco Murray.
High compliment from Mularkey, a guy who loves to run the football, of course. Quick drop, quick strike on 2nd and 4. Pass is caught. That's Deontay Thompson. As we get you to New York, first down here, JB and Bart.
A first for Goff. Jared Goff leads the Rams on a 6-play, 75-yard drive, capped off by a 24-yard touchdown pass to Tavon Austin. A first. Rams up 7-0 New Orleans.
Spiro Nitas and Solomon Wilcox.
Got young quarterbacks playing everywhere. Jared Goff there, Matt Barkley here.
Good moment for Goff there as the Rams try to get a rare road win away from LA. 1st and 10 as Howard comes back on the field after a quick blow. And this Bears offense has struggled some, and that is putting it mildly. Only team in the league that has failed to score 24 points in any game this season, and that just about tells the story.
Well, they've had a lot of injuries. They've had a lot of suspensions. 10 of their 22 opening day starters are out due to injury or suspension. And when you have that kind of movement, you're going to have some inconsistencies and inability to score or stop the opposing offense. Could be a problem.
This will be the 9th play of the drive that began at their own 16. 2nd and 7. Barkley's pass a little bit too high and falls incomplete. Injuries that have decimated this team have been a major storyline. Jay Cutler, of course, that shoulder injury. We know Alshon Jeffrey suspended. And Zach Miller, a huge loss, among the best pass-catching tight ends in the NFL. We know about Freeman, their leading tackler, and Leonard Floyd, who went down with that scary neck/concussion last week in the loss against the Giants.
Well, injuries are one thing. Those are out of your control. The suspensions for PED violation, well within the player's control.
Barkley from the gun. Here come the Titans on 3rd and 7. Barkley, nice release, and it's caught. Marquise Wilson on a first down catch and run inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal after a pickup of 18. What a play by Barkley.
And here comes Brian Arakpo. He's the guy that's going to get some pressure right in the face of Barkley, but Barkley stood in there, was able to find his intended receiver coming across the field right here from the left side. There's Wilson on the catch and run. These receivers ought to be able to make some plays against the Titans' corners. The corners have struggled. Spiro, you mentioned it earlier. And as this game goes on, I think the confidence in these receivers for the Bears, it has to increase.
Only the 2nd reception of the season for Marquise Wilson. 1st and goal, run play called to Howard. You talk about what a difficult spot this is for Barkley. Finds out he's going to start probably on Monday. Hasn't had many reps with the ones. Zach Miller, their leading target, down. We know, of course, Alshon Jeffrey unavailable. Very difficult circumstances. So far, he looks good.
Well, he does look good. They're allowing him to get some easy throws, be able to see it cleanly. They're putting him in the shotgun. They've attempted some screens to dump it off to Jordan Howard and in the quick passing game. But that early shot, I think, down the field where they got the pass interference on Jason McCourty, it shows and it has proven to them that they can make some plays in the passing game.
This drive has chewed up nearly 6 minutes. This will be the 12th play. Whistles
Timeout,
will
Chicago.
blow the play dead. Looks like the Bears wanted a timeout. That will be their first with 4:36 to play in this first quarter. Tonight on CBS, one NCIS Los Angeles agent is being targeted and the conspiracy puts the whole team in danger. Don't miss a new NCIS Los Angeles tonight after 60 minutes, only CBS. Well, first home game for the Bears in nearly a month. Last time they were here was Halloween, that impressive Monday night victory over the Vikings. And the chain of emotions, the emotions kind of tell the story. Offense that has struggled, Solomon, and a defense that's gotten better.
The emojis tell the story as well.
I know you're a big emoji guy, right?
That's right, but thumbs down on the 15 points a game, but they're knocking on the door for early points here in the first quarter.
Broniker, the tight end in motion. Play action from Barkley, 2nd and goal. Howard was wide open. Kind of turned his head before he was able to bring in the football. We'll be thinking about that one tonight. It'll be 3rd and goal coming up.
Yeah, he wants a second chance, a do-over on this one because pressure was right in the face of Barkley, and Howard's got to make the catch. And look at Jay Cutler's land. He's open, and now watch the look. Yeah. Not much of an expression ever from Jay Cutler, right?
And that, Solomon, is one area, one of the few areas where Howard has struggled. Had the 2 drops last week in the loss at the Giants, and a critical one here. 3rd and goal. Barkley throwing end zone. It is caught for the Chicago touchdown. It's Daniel Brown. And for Matt Barkley, his first career NFL touchdown pass.
There you see Daniel Brown, 85, coming across the formation against Avery Williamson, the linebacker, not able to stay with him. I got to tell you, though, the throw from Matt Barkley was incredible. He put it where his guy, Daniel Brown, could catch it, but the defender had no shot of making a play on the football.
For Daniel Brown, his first catch this season, and it's good for 6. his first NFL receiving touchdown. Point after, which has been such an adventure around the league, especially last week, is good by Connor Barth. Bears in front. Impressive looking drive orchestrated by Matt Barkley. Takes him 84 yards, 13 plays, just under 6 minutes. Saw him on their second longest touchdown drive this season.
Good mix of nice run plays by Jordan Howard and 8 pass plays where Barkley was under pressure, still able to hang in the pocket, take the hit, deliver the ball accurately.
First career touchdown pass for Barkley, and a first career touchdown catch by their third string tight end, Daniel Brown. Ariani watches that bounce through the back of the end zone, and Tennessee down 7-0 as Barkley and company with a good start.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly. And by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Long touchdown drive for Chicago. Already getting into the holiday spirit here in the Windy City. 7-0 Bears. As Marcus Mariota and his offense back onto the field for their second possession. They begin at their own 25. This is Henry, able to cross the 30 after a good-looking pickup of 9. Wednesday on Survivor, a special advantage comes into play for the first time ever. See how it can change the game. Wednesday at 8/7 Central, only CBS. So second straight week that Tennessee is forced to play from behind. Last week they received that uppercut punch by Indianapolis. We're down 21-0 before that game started to turn late stages of the first half. Rashard Matthews, the man in motion on 2nd and 1. Draw play. This is Murray. As he will run for a first down. As Tennessee again has to play from behind, but this has been an offense, Salmon, that has been as good as any unit in the NFL since week number 5, up there with the big boys.
That's right. Man, we know what Dallas can do, and you know what Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers can do in San Diego and New Orleans. But when you see the Titans on that list, that's very impressive. Now Mike Mularkey's team's gotten off to that slow start like we saw last week. He said, hey, I don't preach, let's get off to a fast start. I shouldn't have to do that, but here they are for the second straight week on both sides of the ball getting off to that slow start.
Mariota play action finds Delaney Walker. The Pro Bowl tight end deep inside Bears territory. Good looking pass by Mariota. It's a pickup of 38 and a big first down for Tennessee.
They must have heard me. Things getting off to a slow start, but Delaney Walker has been good for him all season long, going right down the middle of that zone coverage. The protection held up, and Mariota threw a nice ball down the field for Delaney Walker to haul it in. Time for this offense to get going.
Walker, the leader in targets, catches, and receiving yards. Pro Bowler last season, setting franchise records for tight ends in every receiving category. First and 10, one play called, and Murray is blown up behind the line of scrimmage. That's Willie Young, Chicago's leader in sacks. Able to get in for a tackle for a loss. It's a loss of a yard.
Listen to this. Good play, good heads-up play. Being able to knife down in there and make a play against this run game. You've got to stop the run game for the Tennessee Titans. It starts with that, and then you got to be able to contain and pressure Mariota.
Again, this is Bears defense playing without their leading tackler, Jarrell Freeman, suspended on Monday. First in 4 games that he'll have to sit. Quick strike on 2nd and 11. This is Tajay Sharp, their rookie receiver, 5th-round pick out of UMass. And this is the area of the field, Salmon, where Mariota has been just about perfect. 31 career touchdown passes in the opponent's red zone. He's been flawless.
I think why he's so good, remember that offense he ran in Oregon, it was that sort of up-tempo, quick reads, quick passes all game long. I think that part plays favorably down here where the field shrinks, it's short, and it's crowded spaces. He gets rid of the ball quickly, accurately, with good decision making.
He's never thrown an interception within the opponent's 20. Big 3rd and 5. You see the play clock down to 0, and Tennessee forced to burn their first timeout. Soldier Field crowd that has not had a lot to cheer about this season, up in the volume as we get ready for a critical 3rd and 5 coming up. NFL fans, order your holiday gifts from NFLshop.com today and save up to 25% off at the official store of the NFL, NFLshop.com. Solomon, where do you get one of those things?
Wow. You know, you can go right on that Miracle Mile, all that shopping going on, Black Friday. I know you're out there spending some money, stimulating our economy, right?
Of course. I like to give back.
That's right.
So what do the Titans dial up here? Mike Mularkey, Terry Wabisky, their offensive coordinator, going deep into the playbook. 3rd and 5. Mariota, 68% completion percentage on 3rd down, best in the AFC. His pass here is caught right around the 12. Delaney Walker on the reception, and a big 1st down hookup between Mariota and his tight end.
If you look for Delaney Walker, he's normally getting separation, and it doesn't take much to be able to catch the ball in front of the defenders and make plays. That was Adrian Amos on the coverage, but Walker able to shield the defender away, convert the 3rd down.
Fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 just outside the Chicago 11. See where Walker lines up. One play called to Henry. Bounces outside Henry, and he's into the end zone. And Tennessee comes right back as Mariota marches him down the field. It's an 11-yard touchdown run by the rookie 2nd-round pick, Derrick Henry.
Whoa, blocking on the perimeter really is what allow running backs to find their way to the end zone. Watch, this thing's going to bounce, but watch the block by Delaney Walker right here on Bush. That did it. And then blocking even in the end zone. There's one block, and look at Tajay Sharp blocking in the end zone. Excuse me, Rashad Matthews getting the block there.
2nd rushing touchdown of the season for Henry. He was just a monster, of course, at Alabama, culminating in his Heisman Trophy selection last season. But with all the success that DeMarco Murray has had, he's just kind of bided his time and utilized numerous times on that march. 75-yard scoring drive for Tennessee. We're all tied at 7. So after a 3-and-out to start the game, Marcus Mariota and Tennessee marched 75 yards, 7 plays. And Derrick Henry, with both of his NFL rushing touchdowns coming in the last 4 weeks. So it's been a two-headed monster at that running back position till this point, with DeMarco Murray and Henry. Ryan Suckup boots it away. And Deontay Thompson will take a knee, and Chicago will have it at the 25. So 4 seconds left. This was just a couple of minutes ago after the touchdown. You see Quentin Spain. This has been something that the Titans have done all season to honor their former linebacker Tim Shaw, who was diagnosed with ALS a couple of years back. It was the idea of Mike Mularkey. Initially, it was something he wanted to keep under wraps, that it, tell the media about it. Then people got wind of it, and it's been a neat little thing that they've done to honor their former star linebacker.
Their head coach Mike Mularkey's been very supportive of their cause and really has brought the team closer together.
Final play of the quarter. This is Jeremy Langford getting to the 30. End of the first. All tied at 7 in Chicago. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Oh, such a great, loyal fan base here in Chicago, despite another trying season for the Bears. Staring down the barrel of another losing season and what would be a 6th consecutive year with no playoffs. It was Jay Cutler going down with that right shoulder injury. Zach Miller placed on IR as well, with a broken bone in his foot. Turned out to be a very costly loss last week at MetLife Stadium against the Giants. Now Barkley on the field, 2nd and 5 as we begin the second. Spiro Ditas, Solomon Wilcots, rest of our CBS crew from Soldier Field. This is Jordan Howard. Goes out of bounds as he gets to the 30 and back to the line of scrimmage. Solomon, how impressed have you been so far with Barkley?
Well, Barkley's come out, and I think they've given him some easy throws. They take a shot on the first play of the game down to Marquise Wilson. They get the pass interference, and then it's the dink and dunk, whether it's the screen, crossing routes to Marquise Wilson over the middle, and then finding the big tight end, Daniel Brown, inside the end zone. I thought that was a really good throw for the touchdown where only his guy could get it, but you could see what he did on the last drive. 4 of 8, even with pressure in his face, still gets a touchdown pass. So he's getting this team into the end zone. That's what truly matters.
3rd and 5. Barkley's pass incomplete off the hands of Cam Meredith, who was their leading active receiver in the absence of all the guys that are not here. Of course, no Alshon Jeffrey. He's been good, but that's one they want back.
Yeah, Meredith's got to make this catch. This is a well-thrown ball by Barkley. Look, he slips out of the break, and as he starts to regain his balance, the ball is put right where it should be, as Barkley was anticipating that Meredith would be there to make the grab.
So the Bears will punt. Pat O'Donnell, former 6th-round pick, 3rd-year man out of Miami. As penalty markers whistle that play dead. This one against the Bears.
False start offense, number 27. 5-yard penalty, it's 4th down.
And Sherrick McManus penalized for Chicago. So here's O'Donnell at a 67-yard punt in that loss at the Giants last week. The longest of the season for him. As we play here, early stages of the second quarter. Good pressure up the middle by Tennessee. Fair catch signaled by Mark Mariani. Boy, bobbled that for a split second, as Tennessee will have excellent field position for Mariota. So Week 12 continues later today on CBS, and for some of you on Fox. And tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC, and tomorrow, Green Bay, Philly. Monday Night Football on ESPN. Statistical leaders as you see the quarterback comparison and what we've seen so far on the ground between these two teams, Almond.
Oh, you can see running backs are just starting to get going. Murray and Henry on one side and Jeremy Langford. Then, of course, Jordan Howard for the Bears.
Mariota drops back to pass on 1st and 10. Flushed out. He's going to run it. There's good mobility. And will slide close to the 45-yard line. Good play with nowhere to throw down the field. It's a pickup of 6.
You're going to often today hear me talk about containing Marcus Mariota, because you can't allow him to do this. Get out of the pocket, extend plays, and then run for either a 1st down or create a 2nd and short. And that's the one thing this defensive line for the Chicago Bears are going to have to do. Marcus Mariota, very athletic. He's tall, he's got a great arm, but he's fast, very athletic when he gets out of the pocket.
One play called on 2nd and 4. Murray's so dangerous in the flat, that little juke move. So the 1st down run close to midfield, finally brought down by Crayvon LeBlanc, the undrafted rookie out of Florida Atlantic.
Look how many big guys. Those are 2 tight ends, and then you've got, look, 3 offensive linemen, and the center's there. So they're loaded up to one side. They slammed the door down on that side of the field. That's why you had so much room to run. All Murray had to do was make one defender miss. But Crayvon LeBlanc made an excellent tackle in space.
This is the 3rd best rushing attack in the NFL. Spearheaded, of course, by that very impressive offensive line of DeMarco Murray. He was up over 1,000 yards for the 3rd time in his career. Nowhere to throw for Mariota, and once again hurting that Chicago defense with his legs inside Bears territory as he gets his feet tangled up. We go back to New York, JB and Bart.
Set up score for Houston.
You can't coach speed, and Will Fuller has plenty of it. Brock Osweiler finds Will Fuller on a connection. One play later, he takes it in for the QB sneak. Houston up 7-0.
Back to Spiro and Solomon.
Well, that's the team that Tennessee is chasing in the South. Texans 6-4 after that Monday night loss to the Raiders in Mexico City, rather. And that race, you just get the feeling, Sam, is going to come down to the final week.
We're talking must-win territory for all teams.
Tennessee will actually face the Texans at home in the regular season finale. Underneath pass, this is Murray. Breaking tackles inside the Bears 30 and very close to the, looks like 25-yard line. A pickup of 14 on the catch and run and another Tennessee first down.
They don't necessarily think of DeMarco Murray as a guy that can make plays coming out of the backfield. But watch this. They fake it. It's a setup screen. He's got blocking in front of him. But watch how he uses that wall of blockers, still making unblocked defenders miss. Create the first down. It was a well-designed play and well executed.
See the rookie Henry back on the field on 1st and 10. This is Henry. Plenty of room right up the gut, and look at Henry keeping the feet churning. So the Chicago 10, Deion Bush, the rookie safety on the tackle, and right now Chicago's defense on its heels. Another first down run.
Henry's going to be back here, but watch him shoot right up the middle. Look at that. Nice block there by the fullback, and then he's able to get to the second level. Big, strong runner. You know, Murray's a big enough guy, but Henry goes 6'3", 245. What a load.
16-yard run to set up a 1st and goal. Another run play called by Malarkey, and this is Henry again sneaking a little bit closer. Henry had that beastly preseason, Solomon. Got a lot of people asking the question, how did this kid fall to the 2nd round? But again, after a running game that has been so dormant for Tennessee for a number of years, they got an embarrassment of riches.
When you think about the Titans, and even going back to their days in Houston when they were the Houston Oilers, you think Earl Campbell, you think Eddie George. They've never not been good when they haven't been able to run the ball in a very positive, powerful, physical way.
This will be the 7th play of the drive. 2nd and goal. One play called again with Murray, and boy, Murray took a vicious hit.
We said this defense is pretty good. And the Titans have been able to move the ball on them, but they are physical. That's one of the hallmarks to John Fox's defense. But look at this hit right here. Zach Kwiatkowski, the young rookie linebacker from West Virginia, number 44, coming in there to lay the lick.
Kwiatkowski making the start for Jarrell Freeman. His 2nd start of the season. 3rd and goal. Mariota calling. End zone caught. It's Delaney Walker for the Tennessee touchdown.
Poise of Marcus Mariota down inside the red zone. Starts with really good protection from that offensive line. But I thought the Bears were confused in terms of their coverage. They didn't know who they were covering, and watch. You have the 2 tight ends, Anthony Fasano and Delaney Walker out here. You got it. No, you got it. No one has Delaney Walker. Didn't you say he was their leading receiver?
Yes.
Didn't you say he led them in touchdowns? And I don't think the Bears got your report.
What a season it's been for Delaney Walker, and what a career it's been. As he now moves into the league lead for most touchdown catches by the tight end. 24th touchdown pass of the season. Meantime for Mariota. And that ties a franchise record as he once again marches them down the field. Tennessee in front for the first time today. Well, so far, Marcus Mariota pitching a perfect game here in Chicago. 7 of 7 passing, 79 yards, including that last touchdown strike to his Pro Bowl tight end, Delaney Walker, as they have now scored touchdowns, Solomon, on their last 2 drives.
Well, you can see inside the red zone why Marcus Mariota is so good.
32 career red zone touchdown passes, 0 picks. Nifty little spin by Kadeem Carey as he crosses the 30 and close to the 35. Matt Barkley back out when we return.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Hanes with Fresh IQ Advanced Odor Protection Technology. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Garmin Fitness. Let's beat yesterday.
Downtown Chicago as Thanksgiving weekend continues. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. We're now into the holiday season as we continue here at Soldier Field. Spiro Ditas, on Wilcox, rest of our CBS crew. 14-7, Tennessee in front of the Bears as we play with just over 9 minutes left before halftime. Bears at 2-8. Playing without Jay Cutler. And Tennessee 5-6. Still very much alive in the AFC South. Play action from Barkley. Going to take another shot deep down the field. That pass is incomplete, intended for Deontay Thompson. And a penalty flag comes in at the end of the play. It was LaShawn Sims, who Mike Mularkey hinted would be playing today. Parrish Cox has struggled. And this time, the Bears going right at the rookie.
You know, Sims didn't play the ball, but I don't think there was any contact with the receiver. They're going to call pass interference. But because he doesn't look back to play the football, they're going to say he interferes with the receiver's ability right there to make the catch. But Sims never made an attempt to play the ball while it was in the air.
That's the second big penalty against the Titans secondary. This one turns out to be a 45-yard penalty. It gives the Bears excellent field position. Quick strike on first down. That's Marquise Wilson, who had the touchdown earlier. Coverage by LaShawn Sims. We asked Mularkey about their cornerback situation. We know Parrish Cox saw him and has struggled. And Mularkey said very candidly he expected it to be a kind of a 2-for-1 in terms of snaps, favoring this kid, the rookie Sims.
But right now, they're just looking for someone who can make a play and not give up big plays by committing the pass interference penalties.
Sims, a former 5th-round pick out of Southern Utah, 2nd and 6. Barkley pump fakes, goes through his reads over the middle. That pass ripped away and intercepted. Picked off by Wesley Woodyard. Massive play by Dick LeBeau's defense. He returns it for 20 as Matt Barkley throws his first pick of the afternoon. Bears and Titans on CBS. What a play by Wesley Woodyard. 8th career interception and his first since 2014 as Barkley throws the pick. 3rd pick in 2 appearances this season for John Fox and Chicago. So 1st and 10, Marcus Mariota from the gun. Play action, fakes the handoff to Henry. Throw on the run, and that pass is deflected. So I'm going to take us back to the Tennessee touchdown a couple of moments ago.
Yeah, I think it's worthy to go back and take a look at it. And watch this. This is going to be Delaney Walker coming across the middle of the field, and Nick Kwiatkowski, he's got to be able to take him once he comes over the middle. But this is going to be the cornerback, Bryce Callahan. He gets confused. He's in limbo. He doesn't cover anyone. No one takes Delaney Walker, and they allow an easy touchdown. Poor communication. You got to know he's the #1 target. But with so many players in and out of this Bears defense, you get the breakdowns and the miscommunication.
That secondary has been an area of concern, certainly for John Fox. As Murray again has been taking a couple of shots. It'll be a 3rd down coming up. We know Kyle Fuller, who has been out on IR with injury going back to August, is nearing a return. They're hoping to get him back into the lineup perhaps as early as next week. But this has been a team and specifically a defense decimated by some key absent players.
Yeah, they've got a lot of young players now in the game for John Fox on the defensive side, and they've got good effort. They've got good energy, but you've got to know where to line up, and you've got to know who to cover and where important guys are lined up, and you got to know where Delaney Walker is.
Tennessee has been very good on these 3rd and 10 plays. They've converted at least one of these in each of their last 6. That pass is incomplete. And boy, a late flag comes in. It was Tajay Sharp, the intended man. Bryce Callahan was the Bear who got a hand on the football. And now we await the announcement from Ed Hockley. Callahan back. Returned last week from that 2-game injury
absence. Before the pass was thrown, holding. Defense number 37. That's a 5-yard penalty enforced from the previous spot with an automatic 1st down.
There he is. That's Callahan working against Tajay Sharp. Now watch this. See, he grabs him right there. You're well beyond 5 yards down the field. That's why he nearly intercepted it. He used Sharp to kind of pull himself right back into the play.
Callahan, undrafted, second NFL season out of Rice. So first and 10 after the penalty. And in motion for Tennessee is Kendall Wright. The give to Murray as Murray crosses the 40. And, you know, it's easy to forget, Sam, when you look at Murray, the success he's had this year, just how down a year he had last year in Philly. We know he was at odds with Chip Kelly. 2014 season was a distant memory, but boy, you talk about a comeback season. He has been incredible.
Yeah, you could tell that Marco Murray took it personal. You know, he was in sort of a purgatory one season ago in Philadelphia. Look, 3.6 yards per carry average. Sure, he hadn't had those numbers ever, whether it's high school or in college, and now he's back to playing at a high level.
Another run play called on 2nd and 6. Murray, of course, the NFL's Offensive Player of the Year. Rushing champion, that magical 2014 campaign behind that incredible Cowboys offensive line. And you couldn't really have picked a better team and a better fit for him as they get ready for a big 3rd and 3.
Yeah, very similar. I mean, think about the assets poured into the offensive line with the Tennessee Titans, where they've used the first-round pick 3 of the last 4 years on an offensive lineman, and their ability to protect their quarterback, Marcus Mariota, and open up holes for DeMarco Murray. It's a pretty good spot.
Where do they go here on 3rd and 3? Mariota from the gun has to get rid of it quickly with the Bears coming on the blitz. Intended for Matthews, and it falls incomplete.
Well, he had some receivers open, just didn't have time to hold on to it. Take a look. Go ahead and roll this here. We're going to see receivers. And then see if we stop it right there, you can see right there you've got receivers going to be open here. You got one open there, but he didn't have time to hold on to the football.
Give John Fox and this defense credit. Mentioned some of the key players that they have on the shelf unavailable. 9th in the league in total defense, able to get off the field here. Down 14-7.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. And by PayPal. A better way to pay is here. PayPal is new money.
All right, we understand that we have lost audio at the game. Tennessee at Chicago. Chicago Bears have the ball, trailing 14-7, 4:33 left in the first half of play. Boomer, 2nd and 7 for the Chicago Bears.
Matt Barkley under center. You can see there, JB, he's already got his team on the board already with a touchdown and standing in the pocket. Nice throw. First down for the Chicago Bears. And a flag right at the end of the play.
I know we've talked about it's been a long time. Barkley drafted 2013, but back in the day, it took quarterbacks a while to be an apprentice to learn to be effective.
And remember, he was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles and Chip Kelly, trying to fit into that offense there. And now is the third quarterback for the Chicago Bears. And you can see right there, offensive pass interference against the Bears. So that completion will come back, and it will be... Take a look at the down and distance here. Second and 17 for the Bears now.
All right, pleased to know that we have reestablished audio, so let's get you back to that game and the announcers, Spiro Ditas and Solomon Wilcox.
Barkley on 2nd and 17 goes underneath. This is Eddie Royal, really their only proven veteran receiver who's healthy at the moment. Brought down by Woodyard and Jarrell Casey. And it'll be 3rd and 18. We have been experiencing some audio issues. We apologize for that, trying to get sorted it all through as Chicago now prepares for 3rd and 18.
Oh, this Bears offense, they're experiencing some issues as well, facing 3rd and long, and Barkley cannot afford another turnover here.
This is Howard, able to cross the 10 and up to the 17-yard line as it takes on tacklers. I want to thank the guys in New York for stepping in. I think Boomer's got a career in some play-by-play if he wants it. The only job he doesn't have these days.
Be careful.
So Matt Barkley, after that impressive drive, Solomon, that he took him down the field for their first score to get out to a 7-0 lead, throws the interception, now starting to show some struggles. Here's O'Donnell on to punt again as we come up on the final 2 minutes from Soldier Field in Chicago. Mark Mariani is going to play it from just outside his own 25. Breaks the initial tackle and lunges forward just shy of the 35. 55 yards on the punt and 8 on the return. Well, get the CBS Sports app for inside access to breaking news and expert analysis of your favorite team. It has everything you need. Download the CBS Sports app today. Spiro Ditas, Solomon Wilcox, rest of our CBS crew as we get you caught up on some of the notables for Tennessee.
After a slow start offensively, Mariota got it going, was able to take his team right down the field to be able to put points on the board. And they're using the running game with 2 running backs, DeMarco Murray, Derrick Henry, and Delaney Walker is good as usual.
Play action for Mariota on 1st and 10, slinging it near side of the field. That is caught by Sharp. As we show you some of the first half highlights from this Tennessee offense.
Marcus Mariota has been good with his arm as well as his legs. Able to create room to run, not just for himself, but for the running backs. Here you see the touchdown run by Henry, and then the touchdown reception by Delaney Walker. Left him wide open on the play. This offense is starting to click because they show so many formations. They're giving this Bears defense headaches.
2-minute warning in Chicago, 14-7 Titans. Final 2 minutes of this first half, 14-7, Tennessee in front. Brave little Bear fan trying to brave the elements as the temperature drops just off Lake Michigan. 2nd and 4. Mariota working from the gun just across their own 40. Mariota feels the pocket collapse. You see the flag come in behind the play. Finds Harry Douglas, his 9th-year veteran receiver. It's a 4-yard pass play. If it stands, it's a first down for Tennessee, tackled by Crayvon LeBlanc. Ed Hockley, longest tenured referee in the NFL. Here's the call. It looks like it's against Tennessee. He's asking John Fox what he'd like to do with the penalty. Solomon, how are you reading lips?
Illegal hands to the face, defense, number 96. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
Take that back. It's against Chicago and Hakeem Nicks. So a big call in Tennessee's favor to get him a 1st and 10. A reminder to keep it here. The Verizon halftime report coming up. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cowher standing by in New York. Get you caught up around the league here in Week 12. The Verizon halftime report next.
There you see it right there. Wow. Hands to the face of Josh Klein on Akeem Hicks.
So Hicks penalized. Fresh set of downs. Mariota throwing up the seam. That pass is caught. It's Douglas again. Inside Chicago territory. A first down hookup of 25 from Mariota.
Working against Bryce Callahan, number 37. Douglas makes a play for his quarterback.
Douglas only 6 catches on the season entering this one today. That pass intended for Matthews, thrown well behind him. It'll be 2nd and 10 coming up. LeBlanc on the coverage.
There you see him. He was going to work that seam route, get over the top of Callahan, who doesn't play the ball, doesn't obstruct Douglas from getting into the seams of that zone defense. So he got nothing done on that play. As a defender, you can't allow that slot receiver to get so far down the middle of the field where you don't disrupt the timing of the pass play.
$1:28 left before halftime. Titans down to their final 2 timeouts. Mariota on 2nd and 10. And that pass is incomplete. Off the hands of Matthews. Would have been a tough catch to make. Tracy Porter, who has been nicked up with a number of injuries this season, has been very tough on the coverage.
That was just good coverage by Porter. You know, Matthews was trying to go for that ball, but Porter was able to prime loose from the football. Now 3rd and 10. Inside that 30-yard line, this is where Mariota has to make a play. Now, you know he'll look for Delaney Walker, but he'll also keep it himself and run it when the protection breaks down.
Both Murray and Derrick Henry on the field flanking Mariota. 3rd and 10. Mariota taking a shot, going end zone. It is caught. Brilliant catch by Matthews for the Tennessee touchdown.
Well, you've got to be able to locate deep defenders. This is what we call quarter, quarters, half. Half coverage of the field, but then you're going to get Matthews coming here from that side of the field. And watch, he's going to run and get to the center of the field, but the deep defender doesn't get there in time. Good throw. Look at this beautiful catch. Great diving catch by Matthews.
29 yards. And Matthews will be putting that one on his highlight reel when his career is all said and done. His 7th touchdown catch, Solomon, in the last 8 games. That is tops in the league during that stretch. For Marcus Mariota, meantime, his 25th touchdown pass of the season, and that is a new franchise record. Point after is good. And the Tennessee Titans, 21 unanswered points in front by 2 scores. Marcus Mariota laying it out in front of Rashard Matthews, who does the rest. 29-yard touchdown catch as he goes full extension in midair, and you see this tear that Matthews has been on, able to get into the end zone over his last 7.
He's been good, but the ability to go track that football that was well thrown, but it required effort on Matthews' part.
15th career touchdown catch for Matthews. And after Tennessee was down 7-0, they have scored 21 straight points with $1:15 left before halftime. Another reminder, the Verizon halftime report comes your way next. JB and the guys are standing by. The Verizon halftime report momentarily on CBS. Now, we talked with Mariota yesterday, and he brought up an interesting point, Solomon. He said that going up against Dick LeBeau's defense every day in practice, going back to OTAs and training camp, has really made all the difference, all the different formations LeBeau likes to show. So here's Barkley back onto the field on 1st and 10. Outside their own 20, low pass as Barkley's struggles continue.
Now, you were talking about Mariota preparing against Dick LeBeau's defense. You know, that 3-4 defense offers some uncommon looks for quarterbacks, particularly young quarterbacks. And when you can see that every single day, it really does prepare you. Again, he's facing the same kind of scheme here today against the Chicago Bears. They run a 3-4 scheme as well. So you have to guess that that familiarity allows him to be able to read the defense accurately and still get rid of the ball.
See Barkley's numbers till this point. That impressive scoring drive earlier, if you've just joined us, but it's been a different story since, through the pick to Woodyard on their last drive. That time finds Joshua Bellamy, second-year receiver out of Louisville. A pickup of 9 to set up a 3rd and 1. 2 timeouts left, under a minute.
If you're Barkley, got to be careful with the football.
Barkley throwing high pass through the hands of Bellamy. And it will be 4th and 1. Jason McCourty was there on the coverage. This time John Fox will send out his punt unit.
Well, the receivers aren't making plays on a consistent basis. You can see right there, that ball goes right through the hands of Bellamy. Got to be able to make a catch for your quarterback.
And we talked about the difficult set of circumstances for Barkley. Of course, no Alshon Jeffrey. Zach Miller, their stud tight end, goes down with that broken foot last week. And so kind of a patchwork receiving core for Barkley. He's making his first career start. Fair catch signaled by Mariani after a 45-yard punt by O'Donnell. Well, this past Tuesday, the Chicago Bears visited the Salvation Army Freedom Center here in the Chicago area. They serve food during this Thanksgiving week, helping out those less fortunate. Great moment for Jordan Howard, some of his Bears teammates. Great time to be in Chicago Thanksgiving. And so right now the Bears down 21-7 with 37 seconds left before halftime.
Got a couple of timeouts. They may be looking for points.
Flag comes in behind the play. Mariota's going to run it. He has run for a couple of first downs so far. This time runs for 8.
Personal foul, face mask by the offense, number 77. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat first down.
It's Taylor Lewan.
You can see right there, hand to the face mask. Number 97, Willie Young.
Young, Chicago's leading sack man, as Solomon mentioned earlier, 6.5 sacks. Trying to pick up the slack for some of his teammates along that defense who are missing in action. So 1st and 20 after the penalty, just outside their own 10. Awkward looking handoff between Mariota and Murray. Tennessee will receive the football, by the way, to begin the second half. And so after that early little hiccup, Solomon, they fell behind 7-0. Tennessee in complete command as we approach halftime.
Well, it's all about the poise of Marcus Mariota. Got this offense going, integrated the run game, and he was able to get out of the pocket, allow time for his receivers to get open, offensive and defensively for the Titans. They're playing good football.
Mariota 10 of 14, a $139, a couple of touchdowns as he sets a new franchise record in a season with his 25th touchdown pass. 21-7 Titans as we reach halftime. We'll be back with the Verizon halftime report after this. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Just about ready for the start of the second half. Soldier Field in Chicago with the Tennessee Titans in front of the Bears. They scored 21 unanswered and lead 21-7. Let's take a look at the first half fresh start presented by Febreze. What a pass by Marcus Mariota and an even better catch by Rashard Matthews. 15th career touchdown catch for Matthews and his 7th in the last 8 games. As good a catch as you will see in the NFL. 21-7, Tennessee in front as we welcome you back to CBS alongside Solomon Wilcots. I'm Spiro Dedes. We started the show, Solomon, talking about the 2 running backs, DeMarco Murray and Jordan Howard, and both of these guys had their moment in that first half.
Well, you knew both teams were going to have to crank up the power run game, and both guys have really delivered. DeMarco Murray has been really good for the Tennessee Titans. Jordan Howard has really been the most consistent component to the Chicago Bears offense. And when you look at DeMarco Murray, yes, he's been good catching the ball coming out of the backfield, only 22 rushing yards, but they've also added Derrick Henry to the mix because Henry came in, had the 17-yard touchdown run. He's got 5 carries for 46 rushing yards in today's game. So it's really a combination of 2 powerful runners for the Tennessee Titans.
Well, Mariota's numbers in the first half, awfully good. He completed his first 7 passes. Finishes 10 of 14, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns without a pick. So that means now, Solomon, he has thrown 21 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions going back to week number 5, an incredible stretch. Meantime, Matt Barkley making his first career start for the injured Jay Cutler. Barkley started well, had that impressive touchdown drive, marched him down the field. Then threw the interception to Wesley Woodyard, who made just a great defensive play. Barkley 7 of 16, 63 yards with the touchdown and the interception. Solomon, what'd you see from him?
Well, I thought he looked good. They gave him some easy throws to start the game. But as the game went on, when he had to make plays what we call off schedule, that's where he tends to run into problems. He can get a little more help from his wide receivers because, oh, here we go, onside kick. How about that?
Interesting play call by Chicago, and they recover the football as they catch Tennessee napping. That'll get Mike Mularkey's blood boiling. There was Adrian Amos recovering for Chicago.
Oh, look at this. The Titans had a chance to recover it. You could see it caromed off one of the Tennessee Titans players there. Looked like it was number 50, Nate Palmer, had a chance to get it. He couldn't get it. Once he touches it, the ball doesn't have to go 10 yards in order for the Bears to recover.
So terrific decision and an even better kick by Connor Barth. Everyone surprised on that Tennessee side of the field. 2-8, why not make that kind of decision if you're John Fox as they get the football back to begin the second half? Solomon, what about some adjustments? I was going to ask you what Chicago has to do to get back into it. That decision by Fox, step number 1.
Well, you need aggressive coaching, right? But then if you're the Bears, you also need to improve your communication in the secondary. Both touchdown passes for Mariota in the first half was because of poor communication and defensive backs out of position. And if you're the Tennessee Titans, I think you got to run the ball, eat clock, but you also got to be able to recover onside kicks.
On 2nd and 6, this is Howard. Second among all NFL rookies in rushing yards behind Ezekiel Elliott, tackled by Avery Williamson. So a Tennessee team that begins the day 5-6, 3rd place in the AFC South, as they continue to chase both Houston and Indianapolis, trying to recover after that onside kick by the Bears to begin the second half.
Oh, this Chicago Bears offense, they've got to wake up. They've got to begin to make some plays, create more in the passing game, and got to catch the football when it's thrown to you if you're the Bears wide receivers.
Bears playing without Jay Cutler, going down with that right shoulder injury last week in the loss to the Giants. Underneath, pass is caught. That's Kadeem Carey. First down on the catch and run. Looks like a penalty marker thrown. It's a pickup of a dozen. Flag thrown on Tennessee's side of the field at around the 47.
That flag was thrown in the secondary behind the Titans defense.
There was not pass interference by the offense on the play because the blocking was at 1 yard, not more than 1 yard downfield, which makes it legal. The play results in a first down.
That's the second flag that Hockley and his crew have picked up today. And Malarkey looks upset.
Well, it's just a quick flare. It is a pass, but you can see, okay, there was some blocking taking place, but it was, as he said, no more than 1 yard downfield, and that's legal. You can do that. Got to pass protect, right? So
yes,
that means you can block them. Just can't go downfield and initiate the block.
Raider, free down.
Good looking hookup between Barkley and Carey, a former 4th-round pick out of Arizona. Sets up a 1st and 10. Barkley firing, and that pass is caught. That's the backup rookie tight end, Ben Broniker, undrafted out of Harvard, a pickup of 14, and Barkley getting back on track.
It comes off play action pass, and so the linebackers bite up, and that just allows room for that pass to Broniker, even though there was tight coverage.
And you can't overestimate or overtalk about just how big a loss Zach Miller was for this Bears offense, making things a little bit more challenging for Barkley. He's been such a sure-handed target for Jay Cutler and Brian Hoyer, who of course went down with that broken arm in October in that game at Green Bay. But all things considered, Barkley has played well. If you take that interception out of the mix.
But it is part of it, right? I mean, you know, it's one of those deals where he's got to still be aggressive, but yet make good decisions and throw the ball accurately without the turnovers and without the interceptions.
Barkley on 2nd and 9, throwing from the gun, finds Marquise Wilson, ducking inside the 10, and finally forced out of bounds. Another Chicago first down. It's a pickup of 17.
And this is where Barkley has been good. Quick rhythm passing. He's been very accurate throwing the football. And we talked about it. The receivers have dropped several passes in the first half, but this one caught. You see, as soon as Wilson turned around, ball was right on top of him where he could not only catch it, but create yards after the catch.
Wilson, as we told you, had just 1 catch on the season before today. Activated off the PUP list earlier this month. One play called for Howard, who inches close to the 5-yard line. And we asked Barkley what the week was like. Said he had his folks in town for Thanksgiving, his in-laws here, then gets word Sunday night that shoulder injury from Cutler was serious, and family decided to stick around, and it's been an eventful week.
Said Jay Cutler's been very helpful during the process this week. In meeting rooms, trying to help out the young quarterback.
Barkley so far 10 of 19, 106 yards. To the touchdown earlier to Daniel Brown. And the interception that we mentioned, 2nd and goal. Barkley throwing end zone, incomplete. Intended for Cameron Meredith, who's been quiet. Good coverage on the play by Jason McCourty.
Receivers working against these cornerbacks. Got to feel like you can make plays, but see, excellent switch. That's communication that we're not seeing with the Bears secondary. Combination routes, and both corners were right on top of it. Good communication, good coverage.
Meredith still looking for his first catch. As you see what Chicago has done so far in this drive. 9th play as they chewed up just over 4 minutes. On 3rd and goal, Barkley evades the sack, throwing end zone, and it is picked. Another suspect decision by Barkley and Denarius Searcy on the interception for Dick LeBeau in Tennessee.
Oh, this is what we talked about. The pressure when the play is off schedule. See, right, you're in the first phase of the play, you got to throw it. But now you're off schedule, and he panics and just throws the ball into the end zone where he's picked off. Yet another turnover for Matt Barkley.
First interception of the season for Denarius Searcy, makes a big defensive play for the Titans. As Barkley, meantime, throws his 2nd pick of the afternoon. Mariota and company get it back, 1st and 10. Quick strike, this is Matthews breaking free. Up the sideline. As they go right back at that Chicago secondary, side back to the pick.
Oh, take a look at, this is what Barkley is looking at. Now he's off schedule. And see, when he rolls to his right, he's off schedule. But look in the back of the end zone, look at those guys. Now the defenders are going to run there too. There's 2 defenders, 1 receiver. He's not open. That ball has to be thrown, if anything, out of the back of the end zone. He underthrows it. That's why he's going to throw the interception. CFC made a play on it, but got to have a better decision from Barkley.
24-yard pass play meantime between Mariota and Matthews. One play called here on 1st and 10. And that's just the decision that Barkley knows he can't make as he puts his defense up against it now, with Chicago already down 21-7.
And it was all set up so beautifully. The coach is doing everything they can to help their young quarterback. The onside kick, they get great field position. They can begin the second half with great momentum, but you have to be able to execute in that red zone possession. More than anything, you can't turn it over.
So how does Malarkey's offense take advantage? 2nd and 9 from their own 45. Mariota, quick pump fake. A little flea flicker action, gets it back. Throws deep down the field. He has his man, but it's incomplete. A little bit too much on it for Mariota, intended for Kendall Wright, who had his step through that Chicago secondary.
Well, he was certainly, he was right here. He's going to be open. Take a look. It's right there. It's actually the inside receiver. See, they all stopped. There's Kendall Wright. He's open right now. Just overthrew the intended receiver, did Marcus Mariota. Rarely do you see him do that, right? Overshoot open receivers.
Mariota's taken some shots down the field with a lot of success. Certainly this great stretch he's been on since week 5. 3rd and 9. Mariota slinging it again. That pass is caught. Matthews with a first down catch, going down to the turf to get it. Matthews following up his career performance last week in the loss, had a $122 against the Colts. Another big catch.
You know, they're all young receivers. Matthews is a 5th-year player out of Nebraska, but, you know, he's kind of coming to his own. I think if there's one of these receivers that Mariota really, truly feels comfortable with, it has to be Rashard Matthews.
Matthews, former 7th-round pick of Miami back in 2012, career year last year. Then parlayed it into a free agent contract, his first big payday in the NFL. And after a couple of hiccups early in the year, actually was benched with Andre Johnson, who has since retired. But Terry Rubisky, talking about motivating him, said that, hey, Miami didn't want you. And he's really kind of picked up his game, having another terrific season.
That's what you have to do. You know, Rubisky's a really good coach. He knows how to motivate players. More importantly, he knows how to call a really good game, tailor the game plan to the talent on this offensive football team.
Just past the 8-minute mark, 3rd quarter, 2nd and 7. As Tennessee works in Bears territory. This is Henry. A massive frame that Salmon you talked about earlier, a pickup of 6. As this kid gets downhill, so difficult to bring down.
You know, when you're up 21-7, you don't really have to make halftime adjustments, right? But you do have to understand the situation. And we said for the Titans here in the second half, run the ball, eat time off the clock, allow your defense to rest. You got 2 good running backs to do that, DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry.
This is where they have really leaned on their ground game. Did come up short last week on that 4th and 1 at the end of the game in Indy. As the fake handoff, and look at Mariota breaking free. Crosses the 15, inside the 10, and finally brought down after a terrific play by Mariota. Deion Bush, the rookie safety, with what was perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle.
Just a great read by Mariota. He's going to read the end man on the line of scrimmage. Look, he comes down to take the ball fake, and then he keeps it himself. But look at the speed and acceleration of Marcus Mariota. He was able to just crease the defense with great speed, just getting up the field. I was surprised Bush was able to keep him out of the end zone.
Saw Barkley on the sideline throwing that 2nd interception. It's a 29-yard run by Mariota. 1st and goal. Initial pump fake. This is Murray trying to find the edge. Cuts back. Brought down. Football comes loose. Who's got it? Pylon ensues. First glance, it appeared as though Tennessee have it, and they do. Football was jarred loose by Tracy Porter.
Anthony Fasano looks like he's going to fall over. Number 80. Look, ball pried loose right there by Porter. There's Fasano. He's there. And Marco Murray knows he's got to protect that football. Knocking on the door for points. Porter gets it out. Watch number 80. Anthony Fasano is able to dig it out of that scrum and come away with it.
And a lot of competition for that loose ball. So a huge break for the Titans as they have it 2nd and goal inside the 5. Walker in motion. The give to Murray. A little bit closer, but Chicago holding. And it will be 3rd and goal coming up as we move closer to 5 minutes left in the quarter.
Yeah, they are eating time off the clock. 3rd quarter's almost gone. They're making sure that they continue to give the ball to the talented running back DeMarco Murray. Remember last week, critical 4th and 1 situation. They weren't able to convert. You get the sense right here that Mike Mularkey wants to see that offensive line power the run game to be able to convert in this situation.
3rd and goal. Murray. He didn't get there. And that Chicago defense playing shorthanded minus their leading tackler Freeman. Able to come up with a stop.
Good penetration. Nick Witkowski. Watch number 44. Look at this read. Look at the vision. And then the physicality to stop himself and stonewall DeMarco Murray. Good play by the young linebacker.
Witkowski, the man stepping in for the aforementioned Freeman, making his 2nd career start. Good look at it by a fantastic camera crew here in Chicago. So the field goal unit comes on, and Ryan Suckup able to bang in the chip shot from 19 yards out. Tennessee builds on its lead on CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Dodge. Domestic, not domesticated.
Well, this will cheer up Bears fans. Cubs chairman Tom Ricketts bringing that World Series trophy. As the Cubs in this city still basking in the glow of their first World Series championship since 1908.
Everywhere you go, they're still talking about it, right? Oh, man, that was quite enjoyable. And fans here in Chicago still riding high off that World Series championship.
Well, meantime, 24 straight points for the Tennessee Titans after Chicago jumped out to the early lead. 24-7 with 4 and change left in this 3rd quarter. Tennessee 5-6 if you've just joined us. 3rd place in that AFC South behind Houston and Indianapolis. As that return by Deontay Thompson. Flag comes in behind the play.
During the return holding by the receiving team, number 84. Half the distance to the goal. Chicago keeps the ball. 1st down.
That's the tight end, Broniker, penalized here in Chicago. Today's honored soldier is a Chicago native and World War II veteran, Marvin Jacobs. Soaking it all in. What a moment here for him at Soldier Field in Chicago. Also fought at the infamous Battle of the Bulge, was awarded the Purple Heart for injuries sustained in battle. Upon his return, Solomon played left guard at West Point for Army. What a moment for him as the NFL salute to service continues. So Matt Barkley and Chicago's offense back onto the field. That's Jordan Howard, tackled by Austin Johnson. Howard's numbers so far, 15 carries for 70 yards.
It's kind of what we had expected, right? He's a guy that is always moving forward, averaging 5.2 yards per carry coming into today's game, and he's been true to form. When he touches the ball, good things happen.
Another run play called. Howard trying to find some daylight. You just rarely see him go down on the initial tackle. He's so dynamic as a runner. Tackled on the play by Woodyard and Spence.
He creates yards after contact. That's what he does. He's such a powerful runner. You can see where he ranks amongst running backs in the National Football League in creating yards after contact. Jay Ajayi, the absolute best, 2.5 yards per carry after encountering that first initial defender, to be able to explode through those tacklers and still create yards. That's what makes him special.
Ball comes loose after the snap. Was Howard able to fall on the football, but that kills Chicago's drive, as they will have to punt, and their offense booed off the field here at Soldier Field.
Oh, Cody White here. This one just is on him. High snap over the head of Matt Barkley, and Whitehair's had a tremendous season as a rookie center. He's played some at guard, he's played some at center, mostly at the center position. That's a rare occurrence for him this year.
Injuries forced him into that center position before the season began. As Salmon said, he's been terrific. One of the few bright spots for this Bears offense that has struggled so mightily. It turns out to be a loss of a dozen. And excellent field position for Mariota and Tennessee when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. It's always a great gift on Verizon. And by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
Well, the ice skate is out in this great American city, one of the many great outdoor activities downtown Chicago. 24-7 Tennessee. As their head coach Mike Barkley from the $1:58 to play
71
in this third quarter.
71 is eligible.
That's Dennis Kelly, eligible on this play for the Titans. Harry Douglas in motion, 1st and 10, run play. Murray, cutback maneuverability, so good with inside the 40, very close to another Tennessee first down, and they are able to move the chain. So this is where the Titans sit, Salmon, in that AFC South. We know the Colts lost on Thursday night, so they're right there. So Tennessee playing meaningful football in November for the first time in a number of years.
They're excited. I mean, the playoffs are within reach, but it starts with winning today. You know, Houston's playing San Diego today, so by the end of this, they could be in second place and nipping at the heels of the Houston Texans contending for a division title.
Well, now Houston losing in that game 14-7. Henry breaking tackles. Flag comes in behind the play. Texans at the top of that division, as you saw. As we await the penalty call here from Hockley.
Holding offense number 80. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
That's Anthony Fasano. Tennessee, by the way, one of the final 2 remaining teams that has not had a bye. They'll be off next week. It's them and Cleveland. But this begins a tough stretch, Salmon, to close the year. 3 of their final 5 games on the road, including this one today.
And Malarkey has to be happy to get a bye as you enter into the month of December. Ready to make that stretch. His is a physical football team that plays a physical brand of football. So to get that week to rest up before making that stretch, I think it comes at the right time for the Titans.
The win today will get them to 6-6 as they try to keep pace with both the Texans and Colts on 1st and 20 after the penalty. That is Murray going nowhere. Back to New York, JB and Bart.
Cincy trying to make a game of it.
Yes, Andy Dalton drops back 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, finds Tyler Eifert for the 3-yard touchdown pass. The extra point was missed by Mike Nugent, his 3rd in 2 weeks, 9-16.
Spiro and Solomon, that's how they taught me to count.
That's a good way to count. And what's going on, JB, with these kickers and these extra points?
Unbelievable. Last week we saw 12 missed extra points, most in 1 week since 1970. And a couple in that Bears game out in MetLife Stadium. Mariota takes another chance. That pass is caught. What a catch by Harry Douglas, streaking up the sideline as Mariota goes right at That Chicago secondary, a pickup of 35. End of 3. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Start of the fourth quarter, Soldier Field on a foggy day. Downtown Chicago, 20-47, Tennessee in front of the Bears. As we welcome you back, Spiro Ditas, and Wilcox, our producer Ryan Galvin, Andy Goldberg, our director, rest of our great CBS crew. Titans at 5-6, marching down the field again. They've scored 24 unanswered. If you've just joined us, play action from Mariota in complete command of this offense, throwing end zone and just throwing it out of bounds, nowhere to go. Pressure was coming by Willie Young, but Mariota saw him in really the hottest quarterback at this point in the NFL.
And sometimes being hot means just conceding on a play and not creating a turnover. That was a very similar play to what we showed you with Matt Barkley. He rolled out to his right, didn't have anywhere to go with it. He threw it clearly out of bounds. Wasn't going to try to force that ball into coverage, but take a look at his numbers. Tremendously high completion percentage. He's well on his way to possibly throwing for 4,000 yards on the season.
Mariota again, nowhere to throw the football, so he will toss it out of bounds. Had a chance to sit with Mariota yesterday. Such a mild-mannered kid, second-year player. Former second overall pick prior to last season, as you see the flag at the end of the play.
Flag was thrown clear on the other side of the field, away from the action.
Personal foul, face mask, offense number 77. 15-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Second penalty on Taylor Lewan in this game.
And the second one where he's got his hand on the face mask of a defender. You know, he's been known to blow a gasket, right? And, you know, the coaches talked to him about playing with that edge that they love to see Taylor Lewan play with. And even Taylor talked about it. He's got to do a better job of controlling his emotions. At the bottom of the screen, number 77, right there. So that's where he grabs it, right there. So I don't think it was anything intentional, but nonetheless, it's a penalty.
Lewan playing on that sprained left knee that he sustained last week. Play action Mariota on 2nd and 25. Good block to spring him free late. So some good coverage by that Bears secondary on these last couple of throws. Looks like Akeem Hicks a little bit slow to get to his feet.
Hey, give the Bears credit. Now they're out there fighting. They're not giving this over to Marcus Mariota after that long completion down the field to Harry Douglas of 35 yards to put him in a position. John Fox's crew still going to battle.
Told you earlier about the improvement that Chicago has made with this defense. As now the trainers come in, officials may be telling Hicks that he's got to leave the field for a play.
There's the hit right there by Fowler. Oh, no, yeah. Fowler puts the hit on him. And then he goes down, and after being very slow to get up, he's got to leave the field.
Well, Hicks has been very productive for John Fox, Chicago's leading tackler along that defensive line. So he has to leave the field of play, at least for a play here. Cornelius Washington comes in to replace him. Washington, a former 6th-round pick out of Georgia. 3rd and 25. Titans just trying to pick up some kind of positive yardage. Murray ducks inside the 15, close to the 13-yard line. And Malarkey will send out his field goal unit. It was Adrian Amos on the tackle to pick up 16.
You know, there's a collision right here. Both guys lower their head. Real strong collision. Adrian Amos, the defensive back, and DeMarco Murray.
So I'm going to tell you what, Murray may be in some great need of some aspirin at the end of this game. He has taken some hard hits. Go back to early in the first. Say what you want about this Chicago team, but this defense has been very tough. Certainly not a unit that is just playing out the string. Ryan Suckup able to bang it in from 31 yards out. All Tennessee on CBS. 20-point lead for Marcus Mariota and Tennessee. You see their 2 second-half possessions resulting in field goals as they are on cruise control here at Soldier Field in Chicago. Just under 14 minutes to play. Ryan Suckup on to boot it away for the Titans. Deontay Thompson stands back deep in his own end zone, and the Bears will have it from their own 25. First the break. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Well, 8 seasons for Jay Cutler here in Chicago, and it has certainly been a mixed bag. 3 different head coaches. Hard to believe 6 offensive coordinators in those 8 years. And statistically, he's been probably the best quarterback Salmon that they've ever had here, but just 1 postseason appearance in his first 7 years.
Yeah, the numbers are there from a statistical standpoint, but it's the wins, particularly in the postseason. And of course, you want to compete for Super Bowls.
Barkley goes play action, and a pass over the middle is caught. As Deontay Thompson, and the injury Salmon to Cutler this week has kind of re-raised the questions of what they do with him after the season. Certainly the biggest decision that this franchise has had to make in a number of years.
Yeah, his contract goes through the year 2020, but you know, there's been a lot of talk about do they move on. And if you move on from Jay Cutler, who do you move on to? Okay, you have to go in the draft, bring in a young quarterback, or do you move on to a veteran via free agency? It's a real big question. We talked to John Fox about it when we spoke with him. He really declined to even go there. He said, hey, that's all that is good. He said, we are going to have to evaluate the quarterback position, but it really is one of those things that we have to focus on during the offseason. Right now, they're just trying to win football games.
And that's the other part of this that's frustrating. All due respect to Matt Barkley, they don't really have a young quarterback, you know, kind of in the kicker that they've been developing and could have put in here to try to grow with. Barkley, of course, just trying to play catch up after they signed him in early September after he was cut by Arizona. Barkley throwing deep down the far side of the field, and boy, nearly a terrific catch by Marquise Wilson, who's had a couple of impressive catches today. But again, it all goes back to Cutler, and we'll take another look at that near catch by Wilson.
You know what they say, if you could touch it, you should catch it. That's all. that's the bar is set really high at the NFL level. And you know, Barkley's put the ball on the hands of several receivers today, but yet the ball still ended up on the ground.
3rd and 6. Barkley again working from the gun. Throws across the field. That's the tight end, Daniel Brown, who had the touchdown catch early in the game. It's a pickup of 8 and a much needed Bears first down. You know, the other frustrating part of this is, Salmon, you know, they finally wait for Green Bay to be vulnerable like the Packers are this season. They've owned that division, and Chicago thought that they had addressed some things in free agency, but of course all the injuries and the season just kind of fell apart before it started.
Yeah, the Vikings kind of hit that lull, even though you know they're a really good team. And Detroit appears to be on top of this division.
A pass off the hands of Bellamy, and it falls incomplete. Coming up tonight, can Alzheimer's be prevented? A groundbreaking study, and the unlikely place 60 Minutes went to find it tonight. Only CBS. You mentioned the Lions a year after they kind of tear things down in Detroit. They're at the top of the NFC North. And Minnesota right behind them. Ironically, the only 2 wins by the Bears this season, Salmon against Detroit and the Vikings. Underneath pass to Howard inside Tennessee territory to the 44.
How about that Lions team, though? They seem to only know how to win one way. Fall behind in the 4th quarter, come back and beat you. But, you know, they've got a quarterback. You could say the same for the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers. I think what the Vikings are doing, whether it's Teddy Bridgewater once he gets healthy or Matthew Stafford, they have assets at the quarterback position. And that's where the Bears have been deficient for quite some time. I think they thought Jay Cutler was going to be the guy. For some reason or another, just hadn't worked out.
3rd and 5. Barkley fires, and it's a completion. And finally, Meredith with his first catch on the afternoon. It's a pickup of 8 and another Chicago first down.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy catch, but enough to create a first down. And that's what you need when you're a young quarterback like Barkley. I think Barkley's hanging in there. Yes, he's made some bad decisions. He's thrown some interceptions, but he's in a position where he can use these plays and use these games to grow as a quarterback.
Barkley's first down pass is caught. That's Brown again inside the 30. Pickup of 9. Back to New York, JB and Bart.
Well, Houston was good at home.
JB, I will pay to see Phillip Rivers play. He's going to find Hunter Henry on the 12-yard touchdown pass to extend the lead 21-10.
9:52 left in regulation. Let's take it back to Spiro and Solomon.
It's a game that Titans fans are keeping close tabs on. You see where Houston sits again at the top of the division. And keep in mind, Titans will host the Texans in the regular season finale in Nashville in Week 17. Now the run play called as Howard takes the give. And it's a first down run for the Bears, stopped by Rashad Johnson.
Can you imagine if the Titans are playing in that season finale and playing for a chance to clinch a division title in Nashville? That town would come alive. It's certainly what Mike Mularkey had in mind in terms of how he built this team for the long haul, to be able to take on teams like the Houston Texans.
Barkley putting some man under it, far side of the field, very tight window to throw in. Off the hands of Jeremy Langford. It was Wesley Woodyard on the coverage. Woodyard had the first of the 2 picks that Barkley has thrown today. And this is the upcoming schedule. Again, Tennessee will finally get their bye next week. And then a pretty tough close the final quarter of the season.
Well, you get Denver at home. We know Kansas City's a tough place to play, but you come back home that final week against Houston. I mean, hey, if you're going to win a division title, you got to be able to beat some of the best teams in the league.
11th play of the drive for the Bears. They cover just over 50 yards. 2nd and 10. Barkley's pass incomplete. Solomon, if you're a Titans fans, you're just happy to be talking playoffs and just to be in the mix. This is a franchise that won a combined 5 games through 2014 and 2015. And of course, already matched that number this season alone.
How about guys like Brian Orakpo? His 8 years in the league, never actually played in a playoff game. He said that would just be something wonderful, something he wants for his career, something he wants for many of his teammates, the coaching staff, everyone there in Nashville. But you got to take care of business today and continue to play with great consistency.
Barkley on 3rd and 10. That pass is caught. It's Meredith again on a crossing route. It's a first down for the Bears. Orakpo was on that Washington team, of course, that won the playoffs in 2012, but he was hurt, so Solomon points out, did not actually play in that postseason.
I think the quick turnaround from where this team was 1 year ago, I think they've come a long way in building this team the right way.
1st and 10. Barkley now starting to pick up some rhythm. That's Bellamy, the 2nd-year man out of Louisville. A pickup of 5. And these are some of the bottom feeders in the NFL since 2014. And of course, these 2 teams right in the mix, but right now Solomon going in opposite directions.
Oh, look at the Titans. You know, they were one of the worst. Now contending for a division title, even though they give up a touchdown here.
Barkley slinging it, and it's Marquise Wilson in the back of the end zone for the Bears. Touchdown. 8-yard strike from Barkley. His 2nd touchdown pass of the afternoon.
And Parrish Cox continues to struggle right here against Wilson. Look at Wilson, breaks right away from him. Hey, Cox isn't even close. Cox is as if he was looking for help. The guys in the secondary at that safety position. You can see Jay Cutler saying, good read, good throw from Matt Barkley.
So Barkley drives him 75 yards, 14 plays in just over 5 minutes time. So 2 touchdowns now, along with those 2 interceptions for Matt Barkley, making his first career start in his 4th NFL season. 27-14, Titans on CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. FedEx, helping small businesses simplify e-commerce. And by Kay Jewelers. For 100 years, every kiss begins with Kay.
Located in Millennium Park, Cloudgate is a public sculpture by Anish Cooper, Indian-born British artist. He nicknamed it the Bean due to its shape. Pretty cool looking spot. Become a popular destination spot for locals and tourists here in Chicago. Second touchdown pass by Barkley. Kendall White inserted to return the kick. Backpedaling will play it from inside his own 5. Trying to break that initial tackle. Crosses the 15 and just shy of the 20. 14 yards on the return by Wright. Bears hoping for one last gasp, down 13 points with 8 and change left in this fourth quarter. Spiro Dita, Solomon Wilcott, Soldier Field in Chicago here in week number 12. Matthews in motion, 1st and 10 inside their own 20, and Murray wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Miner coming up next. Most of you will see the Panthers making a run at the Raiders while the Patriots take on the Jets in an AFC East battle. Check your local listings. Rob Gronkowski is active for that game, and Tom Brady, who missed a couple of practices this week. Solomon will start.
It's a big deal. First time he's missed practice due to injury for the first time in 5 years. So for Tom Brady, practice is important.
See where the Patriots sit, 8-2 as they get ready to take on the Jets. Still 7 and change left. Chicago trying to get off the field here with their defense. Danny Trevathan, who's been their leading tackler the last couple of weeks, stopping Murray. 3rd and 7.
These Bears don't quit. I put the tape on, watched them last week where they scored 16 points in the first half against the Giants on the road. They had the Giants on the ropes. Didn't score any points in the second half of that game. Wasn't able to come away a winner, but they don't quit and they fight and play hard.
Play clock down to 2. Mariota, 3rd and 7. Good pass protection in front of him, but nowhere to throw the football. Spinning away from trouble, throws on the run. It's a dart, but it's incomplete. Trying to locate Sharp along the sideline. A terrific coverage down the field by the Bears.
Wow. Good pass rush, good coverage by Porter. Working to one side of the field, but even Delaney Walker got the clamps on him. Mariota can't find him. And then look at this play right here. It's just a really good play as they slash in front of him. That's Hall on the cover.
Only the 3rd time that the Titans have had the punt. So Brett Kern is kind of biding his time on that Tennessee sideline. 47 yards on the punt. Eddie Royal with a fair catch.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Cricket Wireless. Something to smile about. And by Subway. Try the classic Reuben, stacked with corned beef. Limited time only.
Movember, the creativity, everyone getting in on the act. Here at Soldier Field in Chicago, 27-14. As Matt Barkley and his offense back onto the field. 1st and 10. Barkley, far side, boy, had a man, but it's incomplete. Thompson had about a half step. So Tennessee unable to get that knockout blow, and Bears still have some life, Solomon.
They're going up against the rookie Sims, but you could see there's an opportunity to make a play right there. Got to be able to get the ball to him. He had a step on the intended receiver, Deontay Thompson.
Injured Titan is Jarrell Casey, their all-pro defensive tackle, as the trainers come onto the field. Saturday, Jim McElwain's Gators try to make their day and some history by unseating Nick Saban's #1 unbeaten and still champion Crimson Tide in the SEC championship game on CBS. The build-up begins with CBS College Football Championship Saturday and college football today. Derrick Henry of Alabama fame will be tuned in for that. That's Jordan Howard breaking free After another impressive tackle. We showed you earlier how good he's been after contact. 15 yards on the catch and run. Good for a Bears first down.
Well, he can be very productive running it or catching it out of the backfield, as we talked about. Eric Morgan was able to hauling down from behind.
Well, Jarrell Casey was able to walk off on his own power during the break. Carl Klug has replaced him. Barkley in the face of pressure, fires, and it's incomplete. It's Cameron Meredith, and it bounced right off of him. Pressure coming by Bryce McCain on the corner blitz.
Kevin Byard, he's right there. Ball's right over Meyer's head, where Meredith still should have been able to come down with it. Would have been a tough catch.
Salman, you said it. Receivers kind of a patchwork group. Have not done Barkley any favors. Numerous drops. And with Barkley making his first NFL start. 2nd and 10. Barkley over the middle, and that's incomplete. Once again, it was Meredith. And you just wonder what's going through his head. His confidence looking very shaky.
And you know, hey, this one hit his hands. You got to be able to haul it in. Defender's there, but got to be able to make those catches. You know, these are opportunities wasted by many of the receivers, not just Meredith. Some of the other ones have also dropped really well thrown balls from Barkley.
And this kid Meredith has been good. Their top receiver who is healthy and left with the absence of both Miller and Jeffrey. And here is Marquise Wilson trying to atone for his teammates' blunders. Pass was a little bit high, but right where it needed to be. It's 19 yards and a Chicago first down.
As young players, though, you got to keep working. Wilson's had some drops in this game, but yet, when presented with another opportunity, looks this one in very well. Stopping the point of the ball, able to haul it in.
And we told you earlier, Wilson activated off the PUP list on November the 15th. Starting to become a factor. Nice little comeback by Deontay Thompson. Clock continues to run. That pass good for 9 to set up a 2nd and short.
Since the first pass play of the game by Barkley, I think these receivers, Barkley, I think the coaching staff for the Chicago Bears know they can make some plays against a vulnerable cornerback staff for the Tennessee Titans. Cox, even McCourty has struggled.
One play called for Langford, as this will be good for a first down. A flag comes in, multiple flags behind the play. Sean Spence on the tackle.
Holding offense number 65. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat 2nd down.
It's the center, Whitehair.
Thank you.
Right there. Yep. Had his hand wrapped around him. This was pretty good. It's a good eye.
After the penalty, 2nd and 11. Barkley, far side. And once again, right in the hands of the receiver. Granted, would have been a very difficult catch to make. That was Bellamy trying to go over the shoulder. The rookie LaShawn Sims getting extended snaps on the coverage.
Yep. You can touch it, you can catch it. That's the idea.
Bellamy, 2nd-year receiver. A lot of Bears fans are going to need a roster to name some of these players. And we've talked about all the key injuries that they've had. Alshon Jeffrey won't be eligible to return from his suspension until week 15. Barkley's pass over the middle is caught. So Bellamy coming right back after the drop. First down play on a 3rd and 11. It's a pickup of a dozen.
I love the fact that Matt Barkley is going to keep pitching it. He's throwing it to a guy, they drop it. He coming right back to you. Give Bellamy an opportunity to make a play. Wilson, Meredith, stay alive.
We've gone all pass on this drive. 9th play here on 1st and 10. Multiple flags from each sideline. Whistle the play dead.
Meredith was in a hurry.
False start offense number 81. 5-yard penalty. That's first down.
Right, that was Meredith.
He knows he's going deep. Watch this. Like, you got to wait for him to snap the ball. These young players, they get so excited when the opportunity presents itself, but these are growing pains John Fox knows and his young players are going to go through.
It's been such a long year for this offense. This Cutler injury, just the latest problem that they've had to work through. Fewest points per game that they've averaged here in Chicago since acquiring Cutler. Playing with their third different starting quarterback today in Barkley. 1st and 15 after the flag. That pass is caught. It's Bellamy again getting up the field in a hurry. Going right at Parrish Cox. That one good for 15.
Yeah, Barkley knows he's going to get a lick on this one. He was hit, but still delivered that ball accurately. Pass. Other defenders bearing right down on him.
Official spotted just inside the 15. 1st and 10. Barkley throwing end zone, and it's dropped right through the hands of Wilson. It's an epidemic at this point.
Wow. This is amazing. Talk about growing pains. This is really painful. Well thrown ball once again by Barkley, and Wilson can't look it in. There's some of the staff in the stadium, they're paying the penalty.
He had pretty good aim with his foot. But the frustration for Barkley continues. 2nd and 10. Barkley quick drop, and that one off the hands of Meredith.
Fans are getting restless. A lot of pitch and catch. But this is where we talked about young players getting better. You know, look, they haven't run the ball once on this drive. If I'm a wide receiver, you got to be salivating when your offense coordinator, Dowell Loggins, is dialing up one pass play after another.
I know some of the things that those Bears fans are shouting aren't very kind, and rightfully so. Bears have converted the 3rd and 10 and a 3rd and 11 on this drive. This pass on 3rd and 10 is caught. It's Deontay Thompson. They needed the 4 for the first down, so it'll be 4th down here.
Oh, you got to go for it, right?
See John Fox wanting a timeout. This will be their first. 3:11 to play. Bears are thinking touchdown and then onside kick. Keep in mind they converted one to begin the second half. Caught Tennessee by surprise. So this one isn't over yet with 3 and change remaining. Oh, the drops have become a major issue here down the stretch for the Bears.
Yeah, I think of Odell Beckham Jr. when I think if you can touch it, you can catch it. But these receivers, they're not cooperating. They're touching them, putting them on the ground. This ball is well thrown by Matt Barkley, as were others, whether it's Wilson, whether it's Meredith, Thompson, putting it on the ground, not able to haul it in consistently.
Where do the Bears go here on 4th and 2? Trying to keep their fading hopes alive for what would be a miraculous come-from-behind win. Barkley lofting it, end zone. It is caught for the Chicago touchdown. It's Deontay Thompson. And the Bears not dead just yet.
Just a really good throw. Barkley giving Thompson a chance to make that catch. And that's LaShawn Sims, again, the rookie. 5th round pick out of Southern Utah. He's taking his lumps today. Just think if these receivers were catching all of these balls thrown to him by Barkley when they've had a chance to.
Barkley did not have a touchdown pass in his NFL career prior to today. He's got 3 of them in this game. 6 yards to Deontay Thompson. as the point after by Connor Barth cuts it to 6. And some uneasy, tense moments here from Malarkey and Tennessee after they were up big just moments ago.
Yeah, and Thompson does a good job of fighting his way across the face of Sims to get back inside to catch that ball. Negated the angle of Sims' ability to find it and catch it. Barkley's excited. He's still out there competing. That's what you want to see. 4th quarterback to play for the Bears since the start of training camp. And he's looking good.
First touchdown catch of the season for Thompson, whom they acquired from Buffalo last season. Well, the Bears have already recovered one onside kick. This was the opening kick to the second half. Connor Barth going short, surprising Tennessee, and they recovered. Salmon, they've got 2 timeouts. They've got the 2-minute warning as well. It's all there in front of them if they can somehow recover this kick.
Do you kick it to the same guy who you kicked it to before when Nate Palmer wasn't able to recover it?
Or side, do you even maybe think about, well, we'll see what they do here. Again, you got the 2 timeouts, the 2-minute warning as well. We'll see what they elect to do. So they may just boot it away. Still plenty of time left. That's what they decide to do. Kick it short to force Wright to play it from inside his own 5. Crosses the 15, and it turns out to be a wise decision. Football comes loose, but he was down by contact. So a decision that John Fox makes, and now he'll put it Solomon on his defense.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's saying to the defense, I expect you to pitch a 3 and out. Not allow first downs, not allow them to eat time off the clock. We know they're going to run it. I mean, if you're the Titans, you got to run the football. Allow the offensive line, your run game, to get it going. Now, there are some bootleg opportunities where you can get the quarterback, Marcus Mariota, on the edge of the defense using his speed, but yet still run the football in a different variety.
1st and 10, one play. This is Derrick Henry trying to find the edge. Tough looking stiff arm, but he's brought down. That's Crayvon LeBlanc. It'll be 2nd and 5 coming up, a pickup of 5. Timeout taken by Chicago, their 2nd.
I like him bouncing it out and running to daylight. Oh, they could have got him with a face mask there to the face of LeBlanc. But Henry did do a good job of staying in bounds. Had he gone out of bounds, he would have stopped the clock.
See how this game is turned in the second half. That momentum is a funny thing, especially in this league. Give Barkley credit. First career start. Such a difficult spot. Key players missing on that offensive unit. And he's got the Bears within 6. So the Bears down to their final timeout. Also, of course, the 2-minute warning. Can this defense force a stop? Bears coming on the blitz. Henry will fall forward close to the 25. Tennessee needs the 27 for the first down. It's a pickup of 3. And that is Danny Trevathan, the injured Bear. Such a big free agent acquisition coming over from Denver. Game summary, some of the highlights. Barkley's first career touchdown to Brown, but then from that point, Solomon, all Titans.
Oh, the Titans really got it going, scoring 21 unanswered points in the first half after that first touchdown by the Bears. Here's Delaney Walker beating that zone coverage by the Bears. Then up top to Rashard Matthews. What a beautiful catch by him. 29 yards and a touchdown. And Barkley gets it going here as of late. 1 touchdown and then his 3rd touchdown of the game. That's where we're at right now. That touchdown to Thompson. 27-21. Bears are in it.
Game summary till this point. 27-21. As John Fox and Mike Malarkey continue with their chess match. And in the meantime, this has been a familiar sight for the Bears. Solomon, you just wonder how much bad luck one team can have. Danny Trevathan pounding his fist against the turf just a moment ago. And And just hope for the best at this point as he favors that right leg. Missed a couple of games back in September after thumb surgery, but one of two big defensive free agent acquisitions in the offseason. Of course, Jarrell Freeman the other.
What a player he's been. They need him. What do you do here on third down? I still think you can run it. One of the plays we haven't seen from him is read option.
The play clock should be set to 38 seconds. 38 seconds on the play clock, and both clocks will start on my whistle. Thank you.
So because of the injury, they elect not to use the timeout. So 3rd and 2, and it basically comes down to this.
Similar to last week, where Titans needed to convert a 4th and 1 and was unable to do so. And what did Malarkey say? Hey, if it's DeMarco Murray, I expect him, if we block no one, I expect him to be able to get the 1 yard. Be careful of the read option.
Third and 2. Mariota, option play. I don't think he got it. Last instant decision to pitch to Murray, and it was Eddie Goldman making the tackle, and it will be 4th down for Tennessee.
It was some kind of read option, but not the kind I was looking for. Certainly Goldman was looking for it. Look, they're pulling the guard. Josh Klein, he comes behind Klein to be able to knife in to get to DeMarco Murray. Just a great read. You could tell they had studied that play, even though it's the first time we've seen it here today.
So Goldman, who missed last week's game at MetLife Stadium with that ankle injury, with a huge defensive play, and that punt nearly blocked. Royals going to play it from around his own 30, inches up to the 35. So Tennessee goes 3 and out on back-to-back possessions, and the Bears, back from the dead, will have a chance down 6. Down to the final $1:56. Interestingly, John Fox in Chicago electing to call their final timeout right here after they stop Murray on the 3rd down play. They basically earn only the 6 seconds. See if that comes back to bite them. But a pretty remarkable turnaround in this game. Chicago is down 27-7, and here they are. Barkley slinging it, and that pass is caught by Wilson. 14 yards and a Chicago 1st down.
Remember, they have no timeouts, and that was a good throw. You throw it over the middle of the field, hope to get up and either clock it or go ahead and start running plays.
Barkley. A little bit of a miscommunication. It'll be a 2nd down and 10 coming up. Deontay Thompson was the nearest target in the vicinity.
Now watch this. They don't have any timeouts, but here's Wilson over the middle of the field. You expect most offenses to throw the ball to the outside where this one is, but you can see the receiver seeing one thing, Thompson. Barkley seeing another, throws it over the top. Remember, they're operating with no timeouts. So if you throw the ball over the middle of the field, you're going to lose a lot of time, but I think time is on their side with 1:29 to go.
I have to think Barkley's going to be looking towards the edges of the field, throwing it up the seam here. It's caught again. Wilson inside the 35. Unbelievable. 21 yards and another 1st down.
See, the Titans expected them to go outside, but you don't have to go to the outside catch it and get out of bounds when you had 1:29 on the clock. The entire field right now is available to Barkley.
1st and 10. Barkley throwing again. That pass is caught. Marquise Wilson. And they continue to victimize the rookie LaShawn Sims.
These corners, we said it was the Achilles heel for the Tennessee Titans, and boy, they have allowed the Bears to get back into this game. This is Matt Barkley's first career start. He's now attempted 50 passes in this game against Dick LeBeau's defense, and he's beginning to make big-time plays, already over 300 yards passing.
3 catches on this possession alone by Marquise Wilson. That last one good for 23.
It's just throw and catch against this secondary. It's been there all day, except we've seen the Bears drop a number of potential passes. I mean, they could have caught a lot of balls today, but look here in the second half, where they've just dropped back and thrown it every single time just about. That Barkley has been carving up the Titans secondary.
Barkley, first career start, on for the injured Jay Cutler. Looking in the direction of Marquise Wilson, who's got a career performance under his belt already, 125 yards. Barkley throwing, end zone, incomplete. My goodness. Off the hands of Bellamy, who drops what appeared to be a sure touchdown.
I've never seen anything like this, where it's so easy to throw against the secondary. Receivers are getting open all day, but yet they're dropping them repeatedly. Here's Bellamy. He's dropped several passes today. So has some of the other receivers, but Parrish Cox wasn't even close to defending him. I wouldn't be surprised if Dowell Loggins comes right back and go at Parrish Cox again.
Not sure what else Matt Barkley can do. He's putting it right on the money time and time again. Down 6, second and goal. Barkley again throwing end zone, and that pass batted down. Excellent play by Wesley Woodyard, who had the pick earlier. 38 seconds, it'll be third and goal coming up.
I wouldn't throw at the linebackers for the Titans. I'd throw at the corners. The linebackers, Woodyard, he's the most dangerous guy. Already has an interception. Look at the coverage here. This is what the corners can learn. Look at that tight coverage. One hand on the back of the intended receiver, which you can do. Just can't hook them.
It's a great point with how shaky these corners have been. But boy, think of everything riding on these final 38 seconds for Tennessee. 5-6, trying to keep pace in the AFC South. And averting disaster here. Barkley under pressure, end zone, incomplete. Looking for Deontay Thompson was Bryce McCain, the 8th-year corner, on the coverage.
Looked like McCain had a chance to get an interception here. Ball's thrown high. Just too high to come down with it. Byard was the blitzing safety coming in on Barkley.
So it comes down to this, 4th and goal, 34 seconds left from just outside the Tennessee 7.
They may go to Thompson again on this play against Parrish Cox.
No timeouts left for the Bears. 4th and goal. Barkley hit on the throw, end zone, incomplete. Intended for Thompson. Parrish Cox was there on the coverage, and at least for the moment, the Tennessee Titans can exhale.
Mike Mularkey knows he's got away with one. Looked like Thompson had a chance to make this catch. As you look at Barkley getting hit, look at this ball, right in the gut. This is right in the hands of Thompson. He just dropped it, Spiro. 4th and goal. Chance to win the game. Good throw from Barkley, but this ball's dropped. Wow. Wow.
Jubilation on that Tennessee sideline. And boy, you have to feel for Matt Barkley, Sam. And just unbelievable.
I feel for that guy. How about the head
No
coach?
doubt.
You know, he's like, I just need a few good players. Came in 10 of his 22 starters from opening day unavailable due to injuries or suspensions. And he's playing with spare parts, doing everything he can with the 4th quarterback to play in a game for the Chicago Bears since the start of training camp, and yet they can't come away with a win.
I have to feel for Joshua Bellamy as well, being consoled by none other than Matt Barkley on that Chicago sideline. But the Houston Texans have lost. Wow, so things get even tighter at the top of that AFC South, now climbing to within just a half game of first place as they continue to give chase behind Houston. Another look at that final play, a 4th down throw into the end zone. This was earlier actually to Bellamy, and that was the one.
That was the one.
That
Game
should have
winner.
been a touchdown.
It's a game winner. Thompson had a chance to catch one on 4th and goal. I think it hit him right in the chest. Couldn't haul it in.
And a season of frustration for the Chicago Bears continues. They fall to 2-9 as the Tennessee Titans have to sweat it out late. Nearly blew a 20-point lead here in Chicago. They win it. Your final score, 27-21. Coming up next, Eagles, Seahawks, or the Pats and the Niners. Coming up next, Eagles, Seahawks, or the Pats and the Niners.